someone is smart at Paramount. Theatrical brings value. I know there are notes for this story. There's also an article in Variety. I'll put it up on screen, and there's a video.
There's a video I put a link to that kind of explains it right off the bat.
Yeah. But let's get to this. Streaming movies not a priority at Paramount Skydance. I'm gonna go to the video because it clearly lays the topic out, so we can watch this. It's from, I believe it's from Fox News.
Fox Business, yeah.
Fox Business. It's an 8-minute clip. We'll watch. How much should I watch?
You only have to see the first. It starts right away, so you can stop it whenever.
The first what? What'd you say?
It gets right into it, right from the.
All right. Well, let's watch this and react, because I know I have thoughts. I know you will too. Let's go. Here we go.
Fox Business Alert: streaming could finally be taking a back seat to the silver screen. Newly merged Paramount Skydance, falling a teeny bit today, but they have unveiled plans to boost film production. CEO David Ellison yesterday reiterated that original streaming movies will, quote, not be a priority, and the entertainment giant will be focusing more on theatrical releases. Ellison also telling reporters during a press conference that the company is raising its production output to 20 films per year compared to the previous slate of just 8 films. Yeah, there's a new sheriff in town at Paramount Skydance. Shares of the new company, and the ticker changed to PSKY. I mean, they've been jumping all over the place, but the 2-day chart is very impressive. The week-to-date chart, this stock has jumped 38%. And here's the kicker. During his company's earnings call on Monday, my next guest predicted that Paramount would ramp up its release slate after the merger. Joining me now, AMC Entertainment CEO and President Adam Aron. I don't know, Adam.
That's the guy that when you go to see the Investor Connect movies says, "Thank you for being here for the Investor Connect screening. We're happy to have you join our AMC." Anyways. Let's see what he has to say first, and then we're going to get to your thoughts.
Was this psychic timing on your behalf? I mean, David Ellison just took the helm of Paramount. Had you been conversing with him about his pretty bold plan?
Well, we certainly are in touch with Paramount every week as a company. Look, we had great appreciation for the prior regime at Paramount, but we've thought for a long time that Paramount in David Ellison's hands would be very good for exhibition, very good for AMC. We thought they would make more movies, and sure enough, it's nice when you make a prediction and a few hours later it turns out to be true.
Okay.
Well, I have a couple quick thoughts, and we'll actually link that video in this in the chat and this clip. I have 2 thoughts on it. One, finally, because there's a term called streaming movie. That's not a compliment. Oh. When I've seen a movie at the theater and I'll say, well, that's a streaming movie, it's not a good thing. We used to say, if you remember, direct to DVD or direct to video. That wasn't a good thing. It's not good enough for the theater. So right. I like their thoughts on that. And what movies are, and what they finally are recognizing, is a theatrical release increases the value of the movie, so that when it comes to streaming, it feels like something special, rather than being thrown on streaming 3 or 4 weeks after being in theaters. You're training audiences to wait and hold out and not go to the theater. And there was a perfectly good business model that existed years ago. It's in theaters, and then it would be pay-per-view, then DVD, and then maybe a year more later on cable, HBO cable, whatever, it doesn't matter. They were making bank, and even small little indie movies on that business model did well. And think of your movie. I've said this. I wrote 4 editions of a book called The Ultimate Film Festival Survival Guide. In that book, one piece of advice, I'll end on this: you have to do everything you can to increase the value of your film. Rob, you know that. You put William Shatner in your movie, It's worth more money. What can you do? A good review boosts the value of the movie, and a theatrical release means something. Will other studios follow suit? And what does this all mean? Your thoughts, panel.
Well, Chris, I mean, it's been proven. They've done the statistics are, if a film comes out theatrically, it's been given a sort of a blessing by the world. The theaters, the world, the box office. It legitimizes what a movie is. And if rightly or wrongly, I mean, that's our culture. If a movie's never gone theatrical, it's a direct-to-video film. And coming out of that realm and having made a direct-to-video movie that actually debuted theatrically, I've had that conversation. I had an ex-girlfriend who'd a film producer, and she used to say, your horror movies, it's not a real movie because it didn't come out theatrically. I'm like, well, it played in film festivals and things like that. And we would have this semantics argument. I mean, a movie's a movie. But really in our world, I think the problem is the very reason for making a direct to streaming movie is in itself fraudulent. Because if you're making a movie direct to streaming, there's really no risk involved. It doesn't matter if the movie's good or bad, the streamer's going to put it up anyway. And yeah, they want to make good movies, but philosophically, if you're trying to make a film that's going to play theatrically for an audience, you better think about it. You better make it worthy of an audience rolling out of their house, going to a theater and spending money with the family to see it. And that's in the back of everyone's mind, including the company that's giving you the money to make the movie. But when you're a streamer, like, they'll spend money willy-nilly. Like, how did the Russo brothers, who made 4 Marvel movies that gross billions of dollars, how did they end up having Netflix give them $230 million to make The Gray Man and then $300 million to make The Electric State? $500 million for 2 movies that neither one of them was going to get a theatrical release. Why? Where's the economic model for that? What?
Yeah, they gave David Fincher $200 million, right, for the Once Upon a Time sequel, right? So I don't know I don't understand their economics. Like, I don't get how they make money, to be honest with you, because
they don't.
Because when you drop a movie on streaming, it doesn't have to prove anything. There's not even a metric. There's not even a metric for it. So you're just throwing money away just to
views, but you have to be insane with the views for like the K-pop Demon Hunters, the 4th most watched thing ever on Netflix. But when did you ever hear that?
They don't make more money. They don't make more money because of it. The question is, did K-pop Demon Hunters make more people subscribe to Netflix? And I would say no.
But what's it getting? A theatrical release with the sing-along, because that's, like you said, the element
right,
of
but that's
legitimacy.
That's only for like a day.
Yeah, but you're thinking of it backwards. It's not that K-pop Demon Hunters brought in subscribers; it kept existing subscribers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because I think it's like I want to say 100 billion they make every month, and just in subscriptions, you take half of that and put it to technology, and the other half you put it to creative. That's how it's being done. And
and then think about it. You're finding IP in the same time, because K-pop Demon Hunters is about to be an enormous IP over the next. It's going to be huge. I mean, the sing along is one thing. They're going to be making sequels. They're going to be selling merch, and Netflix owns all of that. Apparently,
live action.
Sony
they already have plans for all of that.
There are 2 planned sequels.
A huge franchise. I'm wondering if all of this is being put in place in order to rein in movie budgets. Because you said I'm going to give you $200 million, $300 million to do these projects when they're not seeing any return on that. So it's like we'll give you this money to make a movie, but it has to be movie worthy. It has to be good, because how many times have we gone to the movies and thought, this movie wasn't very good. It was a very mid movie. And that's pretty much almost everything that we've been seeing at the theater, with the exception of, those original gems that you see, like F1, and Godzilla -1 is like a really good example of like an excellent movie that made tons of money that people want to see more of. That was made on, an efficient budget. And so I'm wondering if that's the thing, we'll give you the money, but it has to be a quality movie, or we'll give you this to start with and see how it goes. I'm really wondering if that's where they're taking this.
well,
But at the same time, it's like 20 movies a year from Paramount is quite a bit when I think like their current output haven't been, hits when it comes to at the
I mean, it
theater.
depends on how much.
By the way, there are 2 planned sequels to K-pop Demon Hunters. It's coming to theaters. They've added screenings, and a live action version is also being planned. And I saw recently that Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein, it's coming to theaters first. It's coming to theaters.
I just saw that.
And then streaming on Netflix. Netflix has to get behind theatrical. I don't know what it'll take. I know from their standpoint, they don't get much out of it. But my God, they've made some good movies, All Quiet on the Western Front, that are theatrical worthy. And I'm fortunate to have seen All Quiet in a theater.
But that was a theatrical movie in Europe, and they acquired that.
Right.
But you know what's interesting, Chris? If you look at Apple, for instance, F1 was an Apple production, and they released F1 through Warner Brothers, and they're going to clear at least 600 million worldwide when all is said and done. So if they just put it on their streaming service, they would have received no return, but they covered its production cost.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then they also gave it's $600 million. People still talking $1 billion numbers, but $600 million is nothing to sneeze at for a worldwide feature film. And then A24 is putting out Apple's Highest to Lowest, the new Spike Lee movie, which came out this past weekend with Denzel Washington. It only has a 2-week theatrical window before it goes streaming. But it's interesting that Apple is trying different distributors, I guess. I don't know why they wouldn't stick with Warner Brothers, but so at least they understand that why would you make a movie and not make your costs back when you can actually release it theatrically and cover your costs, and then you're going to put it on your streaming service because you own it, and that recognition only gets your streaming service more people to come and subscribe.
Right.
But the thing is, the cost, the idea of cost back, it comes back next month with its subscription revenue. And so, I mean, the thing is, Netflix is probably the anomaly because it is the king of the hill. It is the one that, that brings in the most money consistently. Their subscriber base is growing compared to all the other streamers. And so they're the ones who kind of just have this ability to sit on a stack of cash, dole a portion out of it every month to make a movie, and then just have it replenished again next month when subscriber revenues come in.
But it is kind of weird to me that Netflix will get a guy like David Fincher, have a movie starring Brad Pitt, have it be the sequel to one of Tarantino's most successful films, and it not go to theatrical. Like, that's crazy to me. Like, for it to go straight to streaming is...
I know.
I don't understand that.
The word they told me was it cannibalizes, theatrical cannibalizes subscribers. And that's why they don't do it. I don't
believe that.
I don't either.
That's what I mean. I've talked to a few filmmakers who have made films for Netflix, and that's what they've all told me.
It's the exclusivity.
Granted, that was 3 years ago.
It's the exclusivity of Netflix. It's here. It's on Netflix. If you want to watch it, you got to come to us. You can't see it in theaters. It's on Netflix, which means you got to subscribe to Netflix. You got to watch it on Netflix. That's that. It keeps it right there in front of
Right, because if someone watches it in the theater and is not a subscriber of Netflix, that cannibalizes the subscriber base.
Yeah, but but all big movies in theaters always do better on streaming if they're theatrical.
Yeah, absolutely. Because even things on streaming right now that people talk about, it's like there's tons of stuff on streaming. How am I just supposed to stumble across this one movie that is new on streaming? Like there's tons of stuff. There's so many options on Netflix, and you have to have word of mouth in order for it to be huge. I don't understand. I'm with Robert. Like, I don't understand why put it on a streaming service and not release it in theaters unless the quality just isn't there and it's a streaming movie.
Like if it's a movie like Happy Gilmore 2, I could see why it went straight to Netflix, right?
Yeah, stuff like that. It's fine, straight to Netflix. Most of Sandler's projects, honestly, nowadays are straight to Netflix stuff as far as the quality. But you have A1, it's yes, absolutely release that theatrically. It was an amazing movie.
Like in Amazon when they did Roadhouse and he got all upset that they didn't have a theatrical release. Originally it came out that we'll give you a bigger budget but it's streaming only, or we'll give you a smaller budget and it's theater, and he picked the bigger budget for streaming only, and then at the end he got all upset that so clearly budget and intention, they think about it at least on that end of it.
Yeah.
Let's not forget, when you do a theatrical, you have to advertise it, which is something you don't necessarily have to do on the premium platform.
Right.
And this is the first Tarantino film that's not going theatrical, which is crazy. I know it's Fincher directing, but Tarantino wrote the script. So but I think it's one of his first movies to not go theatrical, right?
Well, has he scripts that he's written that other people have done? I mean, that's kind of the category for that. Because I don't think Tarantino is going to say, "Hey, here's my last movie. Let's go straight to streaming with it."
Yeah, he does not consider it.
Well, I saw that interview with him where he was talking about the sequel to Once Upon a Time. Honestly, I don't know anymore. Like I would think that he wouldn't do that, but if they offered him a really good deal, who knows?